into viable compost?
Yeah,
I don't know. Hello, my name is Amy Mosier-Berry. I am the creator and host of the What's Hot TV show, where we spotlight sustainable solutions and we interview inspiring ecopreneurs like our guest Adam from City Compost, who's here in my kitchen here in Clinton, Massachusetts, and I'm so excited to introduce you guys. So at What's Hot, the mission really is to help everyday people like you and me to be part of the climate solution so we can build bright futures together. I want to introduce you guys to Adam, and he is the founder of City Compost based in Gardner, Massachusetts, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, wonderful. And so how exciting, this is our very first episode of What's Hot, so thank you for being a little bit experimental with me. I know you're a hands-on guy, and I do want to acknowledge you and your vision. I know, as you know, about 2 months ago now, because like a lot of people, I had this idea like, man, I am throwing away so much that could be composted. But let's be honest, I have a 19-month-old boss, so sort of a new mom, and you know, somebody who works both in the home and outside of the home, and I just did not have the time, energy, patience, I don't know, discipline, to actually like go out behind the shed. It just wasn't happening. I even took 2 workshops over the years thinking I was going to compost. Never happened. So I was so excited to hear about your company, City Compost, because you guys make it so easy for everyday people that want to do the right thing and help the planet, but like, I'm not going to do that, so there you were. Woo! Just to give people sort of an overarching view of what we'll be talking about today.
Yeah, so we're going to go over some of the items that you might not necessarily think you can compost that you're oftentimes throwing away. I believe you've kept the last 48 hours worth of stuff.
We have.
You know, kind of typically she's been composting, but
yes,
we kind of threw everything into the garbage, if you will, in order to kind of go through and show people, you know, this can actually compost, and this might be something that most people think just fruits and veggies.
Right,
you know,
right.
That's what I commonly hear, like, oh, I can compost. Yeah, I do my fruits and veggies, stuff that I don't cook.
Right.
But you can do anything that comes from plant or animal will ultimately return to the soil. It's just a matter of handling that properly to reduce the risks associated with like odor and animals, like being attracted to the property, bugs and stuff like that. Right. That's why a lot of articles that talk about composting will say like, you can't compost this, or you can't compost that, but you really can. So.
The plot thickens. Very nice. And just so for our viewers, you might, you know, as we're actually going to have Adam with his gloves sort through my trash. And as he mentioned, for the last 48 hours, so for the last 2 days, we've been basically, my husband and our little one and I have been basically putting all of our trash, so that would include what we would normally recycle plus what we would normally compost, because we actually are customers of City Compost and we're very happy customers last couple months, but just for the sake of this show, we're going to be showing people what we've been actually putting in the trash for the last 2 days. So love to have our viewers take a look at our trash. I know this is sort of a personal topic, but I want us to get a little better sense. So again, being a customer myself here of City Compost, I was sort of curious. I was speaking with my husband about this. We were like wondering, like, I wonder like how much soil would we get back? So soil, you know, compost, we would get back, because not only do they do pickup, but they actually, after 6 months, this is my understanding, please weigh in, after 6 months of being a customer with City Compost, they actually bring customers who want the soil back for our gardens back on site, so we can actually use that to garden in our own yards, which is really a great value add. So can you tell us, like, how much soil can we expect from what you pick up, for example, we do the weekly service, and then we can feel free to transition to our trash at any point if it's helpful to demo.
Yeah, so if you were to fill up like a full 5-gallon bucket, and on average that would be like 2.5 weeks worth of service. You know, some people are filling up multiple buckets every week, and then some people it's only a little bit of in general. But even like, you know, so the average household generates 4 to 7 pounds of organic material every week per person.
Per person.
So that's across food too. You know, that might be including the material they're eating out and whatnot. Okay. But you know, a lot can go in, and we can do napkins, paper plates. You know, just things like toothpicks and chopsticks. There's a full list that we'll put up on the screen.
It's a great list that we can get as well electronically. Great. Well,
so let's see what you have.
Yes. So here we go. I know he's like, get the gloves ready. You know. Okay, so I'll probably just back away because it's more about you educating our viewers about what is in the average person's trash, let's say. So let me know if I can be your assistant in any way.
Yeah, and so I guess if you could just grab something to put the recyclable material
Okay.
into, and then I'll put any of the compostables into the bucket here. And so usually what we'll do is when people have the service, they'll have a kitchen container that they'll keep on the counter. That might be that one there with the green lid, or we have a couple other options as well, or maybe they'll already have their own. And then as that fills up throughout the day, then they use this once it's full or the day before service, and then we switch out this container every time service is provided so it stays clean. No bags are required because of that. And so what we'll also do is there's a couple items that potentially can be recycled as well that we're going to look into a little bit further, and then so you can follow, if you stay in touch and subscribe, we'll send out some more information and follow up on what we determine there. One of those is going to be kind of this crinkly plastic, if you will. This isn't something that can go into a standard recycling stream, though you might think it can because it is plastic. But something like this, can be, a plastic container here. These like waxy cardboard containers, a lot of people think you can't recycle this, but you actually can. There is a new program that's out there that supports like your soup containers. Sometimes there's like milk that comes in these containers as well. This is something that can be recycled now. Plastic bottles. Looks like some like a mouthwash container. This one I'm going to put to the side. I would have to look. One thing with recycling, it is important not to put something in that has stuff in it already. And so like if you have like a water bottle, it's best to empty that and make sure that you're not having like liquids into the recycling stream. Yep, so this would something that would stay in the trash, but there are some programs that will even accept stuff like this, so that will be another follow-up. Pretty much any item that any item that isn't going to go into recycling or the compost will give you the final results in the future. And so here we have some apple. Pretty simple. Any composting article is going to mention that you can compost that because it's fruit. Another waxy container and another plastic bottle. It looks like this actually has some apple in it. Here we have some paper towels, so paper towels can compost as well. There's not a problem with that. We've got some banana peel, some coffee grounds, and the filter as well. The filter is fine for us to compost. Plastic bottle. Let's see, we got a kind of a food wrapper here with a little bit of food in it.
It's like a clown car. You don't know what's going to come out of the trash.
Yeah.
That's why that angle is pretty funny.
And a napkin. That looks like maybe like a little bit of pizza or something like that. Some pasta.
And there's lots more pasta, but I was sparing you, so just
yeah. So we'll throw that in at the end, so that way we can get the total weight for just the past 48 hours. Stuff really adds up, and people are always surprised. Like every little tiny bit can really make a big difference, over the course of months and years. And so this like thin film plastic bag here, this isn't something that can go into like your standard recycling stream, but there's actually like special programs set up at most grocery stores will accept that type of material back. And you can put all like your plastic bags and stuff in it. Most of what we have left here, except for maybe a couple tops of some containers.
And so I just made some chicken soup with a lot of vegetables and chicken pieces, so that can be added because that would be from today. And then this is our leftover pasta from the weekend, and I figured, 3 times is probably enough to keep reheating the pasta. And I've learned in this experiment that I need to make less pasta. I can always boil more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely better to conserve and to try to than to cook a bunch and then just.
But you like batteries away, so.
Yeah, it's best actually not to put batteries into the trash. Most communities will have special recycling programs for them. We'll have like a hazardous waste day. What I personally do if I ever have any batteries is I'll just put them in like a can or something like that. I'll keep it under the sink. And then there's different centers and stuff like that that can accept those.
You know, I think we're going to do a little bit more on this piece on What's Hot TV show because I think batteries are still very questionable. I think a lot of people think that the ingredients and the way that they produce batteries have changed and improved, but I hear different messages, so I want to actually investigate this a little bit more as well. So for another episode, but thanks for touching on that.
Of course. I think we've got all the little stuff out now.
And this is just our kitchen waste over the last 48 hours. We do have a few other rooms in the house that we won't address right now, but one of the things that I've actually been thinking about since we've hired you to do the composting is just to cut down the number of actual trash receptacles that are in our home, and I seem like to be a little bit more conscious of how much we're throwing away. Yeah,
you end up using like less trash bags as well, because like you don't have any food material that's going into your garbage, and so it never really starts to smell. Like if you had fish one evening, that would often be something that would get thrown away right away.
Exactly.
And so you can really fill up your bag. I've had people tell me they've gone from like 3 bags of garbage a week down to 1.
That's amazing.
And it can make a big difference pretty quick. So
definitely. Thank you.
So here's kind of a a close up, if you will, of all the items that we just picked up. So a lot of coffee grounds. We've got some pasta in there now. Bunch of lettuce, or not lettuce rather, a bunch of apples, banana peels, and a handful of other things too. So
great.
It really adds up quickly.
It does. Yeah, that was just 2 days. Incredible. Great.
And so what we'll do is we're going to weigh it in. And so every pickup that we do, we weigh in the amount of material that we're gathering from all of our homes. And so what we can do is we can translate that into like greenhouse gases avoided.
Right.
We can also project how much soil we're going to be able to make with that material. With the average pickup of 10 pounds per week, it actually keeps more than 250 pounds per year worth of CO2 out of the atmosphere compared to going to landfill. Because methane gas is often the gas that landfills are generating. And even those that have capture programs, they don't capture all of it.
So as we begin to wrap up this incredible episode number 1, can you tell us a little bit more about, well, what is possible with the soil that we're producing? So what can you actually do with this end product?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, that's really kind of the best part about what we're doing is a lot of people might think, what's the benefit? Like, yeah, I understand like there's greenhouse gases and I understand water conservation. And, that does speak to a lot of people. But if you look at the much bigger picture, a lot's possible to grow right at home. People have mentioned they don't have a green thumb, but it's not about your thumb. A plant doesn't really care, about that. It's just looking for the right nutrients to be in its little environment, so that it can grow and foster itself and produce fruit to with the seed to grow more plants. And so what we're able to do is with the compost that's being made, bring that back to people and to show them just a little bit of compost can really go a long way. We're doing growing experiments to kind of showcase that. So one thing we've done is we've taken just 100% sand and 100% kind of like dirt, topsoil, loam, if you will. Stuff that I've picked up just from like the gravel yard. So nothing special about it in terms of like it's like gardening quality. And I've done different growing experiments. And so,
Well, thank you. This has been really educational, Adam. And what I want our viewers to make sure they know is how to connect with you. Where can they find you? You want to talk a little bit about how they can find you online. If you have anything that's coming up, what's happening, what's hot, please share in wrapping up.
Yeah, and so we're at citycompost.com.
Yeah.
You can also connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram with the @citycompost handle. And then info@citycompost.com for email.
Perfect.
That work pretty well. And then we're going to be doing a lot of events this year. Really going to try to do like a gardening course like through the year.
Awesome. Through 2019, you mean?
Yeah, through 2019.
Great.
So doing like educational components, because you can start planting. You don't have to wait to the last frost to start your planting. Really, the best time to start is now when it comes to planting.
Huh, wouldn't have thought that.
And then you can start your seedlings inside, in February, March, depending upon what it is that you choose to grow. And then you can really maximize the season that we have here in New England. And if you live in other areas, you can grow year round even.
Right.
So.
And thank you so much to the viewers for tuning in to the first episode of What's Hot TV show.